Before I introduce this gentleman who has been involved in government and politics at all three levels throughout Canada, donate, keep us on the air. John Tory is my guest, and I put the question to you, John. We have just lived through the richest civilization ever. Best fed, best educated, best in the health ever in the world. And now for the first time in hundreds of years, people are saying, kids can't buy houses, even in Canada, and they can't afford to go to higher schools. How is that going to be reconciled? Can we fix that in Canada? Can we change it?
I think we can, but there's so many issues that you have to tackle to fix it. You have to tackle things starting with no particular place with taxation and with, the incentives to work and to invest and to innovate, going through to...
Is that possible? Because the tax book, as you well know as a lawyer, is 2 or 3
but
inches
it's more
thick.
about the burden it places on people and the ability that you then have to have money left over. Well, I'm not sure. It's going to take a matter of will for us to do it. It relates to people's willingness to take a risk, which in this country we're not willing to do as much as Americans do. Because I believe the smartness, if I can call it that, of Canadians and of young Canadians is such that we can compete with anybody in the world. But we've got to decide we're going to be competitive. We're going to invest in technology. We're going to make sure our post-secondary education system remains strong. We're going to make sure our taxation levels are fair to encourage investment. And they're all things we've been reluctant to step up and deal with in the last little while, because this country can be as rich again as it was on the same upward trajectory as opposed to now where it's at the very best stable. That can happen.
And the Nobel Prize winners just a few weeks ago had the book, and I've read it, about why nations fail. Certain nations, North Korea is failing, South Korea, it has nothing to do with weather necessarily, but some fail. And some people are saying Canada, which is always successful, is not going to be successful anymore.
We're not failing. I don't agree with that. I think we have nothing but opportunity because we have smart people, we have diverse people from around the world, we have natural resources, we have all kinds of things going for us. But we have to decide we're going to get back into the mode, and it's not meaning a bad life for people. It means simply that you hunker down, you invest, you take risks, you have a fair tax system, you make sure that your businesses are competitive, and that we can beat anybody in the world. I'm convinced, notwithstanding there's only 40 million of us.
Oh, I think we could be the richest country in the world because we have so many resources and also people. But is it going to take a societal change, or is it going to take a huge governmental change or a public opinion change?
I think it's going to take what was at the root of your question, which is that I think when the people in the generation that have reason to believe they will not be as well off recognize that and say, well, that's not a satisfactory thing for a country like this with all the opportunity, we're going to change it. We're going to put people in government who deal with taxes and incentives. We're going to be in business a little bolder. We're going to innovate and invest and all that sort of thing. And I think that it's all there. The right stuff's all there. It's just a matter of the will to make it happen and to have us on that upward trajectory we were on for so many decades.
Well, we were. So then we have 10 seconds left. You think that when that generation starts to realize what's going on, they'll elect the politicians who will make those changes?
I believe they'll try, and I think they'll be mad at us. Frankly, not that we deserve the blame, but they'll be mad at us.
And I hope they succeed. Not being mad
I
at you.
do too.
John Tory, thank you very much. 3 minutes, a smart 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago, we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act. Once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.